There are three websites that have money that could be waiting for you right now. This is part two of a series that I'm doing to show you as an entrepreneur, even if you're just a beginner, how you can tap into money that belongs to you so you can do more with your business. Now, I'm always going to tell you, like I do here inside of my Your First 5K club, I'm always going to tell you that your customers are your best investors. Okay. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Arlan, and I've actually invested in 200 companies led by underrepresented founders in the last 10 years. So I was homeless a little over 10 years ago. I turned my life around and I raised $30 million to invest in other people. And today, what I do is I still invest, but I invest my time, my information, and yes, sometimes money. And what I do is I teach more than 30,000 people, see here on the screen, more than 30,000 members inside of my free Your First 5K club. You can join it today. It is very, very fun, very cool, and people are having some personal wins. If you look at this category, progress report, YouTube setup offer, $43,000 Substack win 19 days ago. Go Gail. Hackathon, Lovable, AXP, all kinds of stuff going on. First sale after watching the hackathon replay, and so on. And everybody's so happy for each other. You get a lot of support. And something cool we're doing all summer long, June 6th through September 3rd, is summer school. So we have kicked off summer school, and it's spelled with a K because that's the platform we're on. And inside it, you get some really cool stuff for free. It's a lot of, when I say cool stuff, I mean you get training from me, someone who makes more than $1 million a year as an entrepreneur. And it is absolutely free. And I just want everybody to come in. So let's get started. The first thing I want you to look at is Stripe. If you have a website where you take Stripe payments, as you see here, financial infrastructure to grow your revenue. If you have a website where you take Stripe payments and you have a Stripe account, you could be eligible for a Stripe capital loan. And the way you look for that to know if you're eligible for it is to go to your account, your business Stripe account, look on the left-hand side on desktop, scroll down. Sometimes you have to push the word more or because there's so many things that Stripe has, but you're going to scroll down to the word capital, and then you're going to click on that and see if you're eligible to apply. And here's the really cool part. When you apply, usually, and I'm not an accountant or a lawyer, so you have to look at it for your own circumstances and your own region, depending on where you are. Usually, it just takes a few moments for it to tell you if you got it or not. It definitely takes a few moments to apply because it has most of your information. Sometimes it'll ask you to connect your banking details so that it can look at your bank account to see, and that helps it understand you better. And then it could take up to a few days to come back to you, but usually applying for it and knowing something happens pretty quickly. So you can apply. Sometimes people get $5,000 offers. Sometimes people get $10,000 offers. Now, here's how it works. It is not like a traditional loan where you go to a bank and you ask for credit. They look at your credit, they look at this, that, and the other. And they say, well, you have to show us like your blood type and all of that. What Stripe does is they look at how many sales you've had with them over what period of time. And if you've had a lot of chargebacks, refund requests, claims filed against you, that type of thing, what your sort of rating with them is. And if you've had a couple of those, that's normal. They understand that. But if you've had a ton, then it's going to, rule against you. But if you have a standard or higher than standard account with them, and you have been making any sort of money on a steady basis over the last few weeks or months, you may have access to a Stripe loan, 5,000, 10,000, or even more. And how you pay it back is, first of all, read the fine print because you are paying a fee. You are paying to get this. It's not free. So read it to understand how much you would be paying for how much money you'd get, and make a determination on your own if you want to take that on. But if you take it on, what then happens is Stripe will take a percentage of your payments that are incoming. Anytime you have a payment that's incoming, it will take anywhere between 15 to 30% of it. You determine what percentage you want it to take, and that actually changes how much you're able to borrow in most cases. So let's say you said, I'm willing to give 30% of every transaction until this is paid off. They may offer you more. You see what I'm saying? But if you say, no, I'd rather do 20%, 15%, they just will offer you a little bit less. And then every 90 days, there is a threshold that you must meet where you've paid it back. So you can't just borrow it and then never sell something. You need to borrow it to use it to sell more. You sell more items, digital products, coaching, whatever it may be. They take that percentage per transaction because you're basically just using that to pay it back. And then every 90 days, and again, you look at the fine print because it might be different number of days for you, but standard I've seen across the board is every 90 days you have this certain amount. Let's say you borrow 10,000, then they're going to charge you 2,000 or whatever for it. Then they may say like, over the next 90 days you must pay back 1,500. I'm just making these numbers up, okay? Just for illustration. Then you do what you said you're going to do. It takes it, and let's say at the end of the first 90 days, you've paid back 1,300, but you still have 200 that you need to pay back in that period. Well, it'll just take that from your account. It'll just charge you that. So it's kind of like a set it and forget it kind of thing, although that's kind of dangerous territory for me to say on YouTube. You don't want to set it and forget it. You want to really pay attention, but it's going to automatically withdraw that for you as a payback. So I think it's very cool. In my opinion, as a lay person, as an entrepreneur, as not a taxing accountant, don't know your life, don't know what's in your wallet, I think it is smart debt. My personal experience has been, for me, it has been that. So that is absolutely an option for you. So go to Stripe right now if you are someone who uses Stripe and see if you can apply for that. And then the second one of three is PayPal. Same thing. PayPal working capital, grow your business, apply for fast funds. PayPal working capital is the same thing. It's exactly the same. I can't think of too many things that are different. Another thing you should know is that if you do get approved, you usually have the money within minutes. So let's say you apply for the PayPal working capital or the Stripe. It takes 24 hours to get a response from them. And then they send you an email or a notification on the site that says you have been approved for $7,000, for instance. Well, that $7,000, most likely in most cases, is going to be sitting in your account. That's how happy I was about it, because it's sitting. It's going to be sitting in your account within minutes of it saying that when you refresh. And then you can withdraw it or keep it on there or do what you need to do. And I think what I've found in the past, because I work with so many entrepreneurs inside of Your First 5K, which I have a link to below. If you don't have the description in front of you, go to Arlan's yourfirst5k.com, ARLANS, yourfirst5k.com. What I've noticed is when I tell people about this, they go and check and they have money sitting there and they didn't even know it. They didn't realize it. Now, again, I will say this one more time because I want to make sure everybody hears me. I am not your tax accountant. I am not your CPA. I am not your lawyer. I am not even your advisor. I am somebody on the internet who has their own lived experience and has done their own thing. And I am telling you what has worked for me and what has worked for other people that I know or who I know. But I'm not telling you that you must do this, that you must take on debt. I'm not telling you it's the perfect thing to do. I'm not telling you that you are eligible for this type of money. I'm just telling you, and I'm going to tell you the third in a moment, so stick around. I'm just telling you that is this is available to people, and millions of people have taken this on. I don't know if it works in your country. All I know is that it has worked for me here in the United States. And so I think you should just give it a try. Go check it out. If your question is, does it work in my region? Go check it for yourself because it could be based on you and your region and all that. Now, this is exciting. I want you to let me know in the comments if this has taught you something today. If you already knew about this, cool, that's great. Hopefully, it reminded you to go check on it because even if you don't get a yes today, sometimes you can go back in 3 or 4 months and apply again. So go check it if you already checked it, depending on your health of your business. And then the third way, this is money that is available to you that I don't know that a lot of people know about. So I'm excited to show you this. This is a company called Solo Funds. It is a company that I invested in years ago. And what it does is you can borrow money for your personal needs. And what I'm talking about is $100 for gas and groceries, $200 to pay a utility bill, $300 to get the rest of the rent you may need for that month. It's to help you with that last mile of what you may need. I've seen people use it for back to school. Their child is going back to school. They need a little bit of extra cash for the outfits and for the supplies. And then you borrow it, you're borrowing it from other citizens, other people on the platform, and you're paying it back in a certain way. And it's really interesting. And that's why I invested in it. And they have lent to more than 1 million people. It's not the company itself that's spending the money or asking for a credit check or anything like that. It's the people who look at what you need it for and you say how much you're willing to pay back, and then they'll say, okay, I'll lend it to you. By the same token, if you want to get into interest and impact lending, again, I am not a professional accountant or lawyer, so please look into this on your own. You could lend. So you can make these smaller loans to people. You can put $100 into the system or $200 into the system. I love doing it. I personally have had a lot of fun. I put $1,000 in, it gets lent out and split among different people, and then people pay back. And the payback from my $1,000 has been so good that I just keep relending it. You know, it's kind of like Kiva, which I've done that too, where you put in a certain amount and you just keep relending it just for impact, and fun. I think it's fun. So I'm not saying that you should do this. I'm saying that it's available to you. It's really, really fun if you're in that position to do so. And you can start really seeing how interest works, how investment works with lower stakes. And maybe you start out as a borrower, and then in a few weeks or months, you're doing better, and you decide, I'm going to become a lender. It's really, really cool. I love what they call it, cyclical uh, finance. That's not what they call it, but it's something like that. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Circular. That's what it is. Circular. Circular. All right. Hopefully this helped. Let me know in the comments right now if you want me to do more videos like this, a part 3. If you want me to do a part 3, we're going to use the same code word as before, which is abundance. Abundance. Type the word abundance into the comments if you want me to do a part 3. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go back to click on my name below or just go to itsaboutdamntime.com. It'll take you to my YouTube channel. Look back just a couple of videos where I talk about how the US government is paying people to start businesses or how you can make money. It's just a couple of videos back. And I'll see you at part 3 if you tell me you want one. Only if you tell me. Okay, see you soon.